Are we going? We good? I'm up here because if I can be up here, not in the basement, why not? And vertical waifus. So this is the SP400. Now that's the M400 DAC, and that is the Hollow May, which is like $4,500 of DAC. And if I can also use that in every review, why wouldn't I? Obviously, this would be the stack or spread, depending on how you want to lay it out. And this is awaited because this is the only thing in the pipeline that I see, and that's sort of like that could come after the topping A90, because the D90 is amazing DAC. The A90 is the most linear, like that's the benchmark, and this costs more than the A90, so it better do something. It better do something. If you've never seen this line of SMSL amps and DACs before, they have glass tops, which can or cannot be good depending on if you ever touch them or if you don't like dust. It's terrible. I've currently, It's weird. I'm wearing IEMs currently and speaking to sound super echoey because I think I'm just in my review voice. All right, Beastie Boys, 3 MCs and 1 DJ. You hear that wind? My house is going to blow up the hill and it's going to be terrifying. These are the Tin P2s, and they're the last thing I wanted to listen to on this. Usually you listen to a very, very sensitive IEM to really assess the noise floor, but there is no noise. It's just, don't worry about it. But no, there's none. So these, instead of being the very, very sensitive IEMs, are the hardest to drive IEMs. And that's proof fucking positive because I'm feeding them through the balanced input coming from the Hollow May, which is a little bit hotter. Definitely hotter than if I put this on, which is going RCA. We're on high gain. We're on high gain at 55 to run IEMs. I'm using, by the way, I'll link this in the description, the Monoprice 4.4 to 2.5 adapter, because you have to, because there's no, the one thing, like, I should have the A90 here to compare, which is downstairs in the basement, but it's real easy to understand the difference. This is $100 more. You don't get a 4.4 Pentacon out. You get a 1/4 inch and a balanced. They really, really should at least try to provide a 4.4 to be relevant in 2021. It's creepy windy out. So that's annoying. But even if it had a 4.4, I wouldn't have a 2.5, so I have to use this adapter on this. I'll probably not put those back in because putting in IEMs. We need to look at some numbers. Like, I know, Zeos, you're all about the emotion of an experience, and the emotion and experience of this is literally the numbers. So let's pop it up. APOS sent this to me, so I'll be linking to APOS. They have a very well laid out page. If you can look at all the pictures, if you like coloring books, this is your site. Where's the actual list? There's an entire page of all the things. So it's a balanced amp, unbalanced. So through the 1/4 inch output, you can get at 16 ohms, 6 watts. Balanced, which is what these are handling, 16 ohms, 12 watts. 12 watts, that's entirely a lot, like a lot. And this is running on the THX 888 platform, which for those of you who are in the know, which since you're on this channel, obviously you are the most well-informed audiophiles that have ever existed. The 888 platform, like the THX 789, that was the version 7 user 89. That wasn't just like some random number, that was like the insides. That was the thing that was driving it. Now, Topping doesn't use THX. Topping is using its own proprietary thing and matching the linearity and beating of the 789. The problem is the 888 is like the highest end chipset logic that they're using. And it's only been in 2 things. The SP200, which is like a $200 amp, which I reviewed like a year ago. And it wasn't balanced, and it was very powerful, and it had the weird slanty case, and people were hit or miss on it. And that was because when you could, again, it's all about implementation. So you could put the best fucking tech in something, but if you don't have to like cobble it around with some other crap around it, it's not gonna be the best. The other company that used it was Benchmark. And if you don't know about Benchmark, Zeos, link the Benchmark amp that uses 888. It'll be 4 digits. It also does speakers, I believe. So this is the first time the 888 THX tech has been in something that's actually of like a higher end. I think we're looking at like $650. I have to go back to this. $629.99, which is actually, I've been on this channel too long, doing too many of these I apologize in advance for all the gemstones and the titles. No gemstone in this, not over 1,000. That's what those mean, by the way. For every 1,000 over 1,000, it's another gemstone. So at $630, it's not the most expensive amplifier on the planet Earth, but it's damn close to the most powerful. The only thing that competes with this is the Flux Labs, the giant one, the one that weighs like 7 pounds. That I think can put out a similar amount of amperage, or wattage. However, this is cleaner. I didn't get to the other numbers that were on that page because I memorized them. I think it's 0.00042. Doesn't matter after like the 4th or 5th zero. Doesn't matter. THX is just here doing THX things, and it's doing them the best I've ever heard THX. This could be its job is not to unseat the A90. I don't look at it that way. I think SMSL has not had anything up to par with the A90 until now. And now this is their entry. It's more expensive. It's could be argued prettier. It lacks a couple features. This actually has a menu, which you could, oh, I just shut it off. Since I shut it off, you get the red standby light, little push button there, digital knob. The digital knob on the M400 is nice and smooth. Digital knob on this one gets stuck a little bit. It's like rough, but if you listen, quiet wind. Click, 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 relay clicking for volume. So that's another benefit, is you don't have to deal with a dirty pot, because you have an analog pot, you have to get like an Alps pot so that it doesn't have channel imbalance. With this, there's an internal volume relay, and I have it currently set to the point where you turn it a lot, and then it clicks once. That was on another amp that I did recently. You can go into the menu. Here, we'll go into the menu here. Input, gain, volume mode, brightness, inversion. Very basic, nothing deep, nothing super high end, no DSP corrections. It's not an RME ADI2. I'll link to that. That son of a bitch is like $1,100, but that's a DAC and an amp and DSP. Really nothing competes with that yet. I'm still waiting on that. Mini DSP should put something out and make it good. So input, you literally have 2 options, balanced and unbalanced. Now you could change them on the remote here with the input switch. The next one down is gain. There's 3 gain modes, low, medium, high, pretty basic stuff. I did find that, and I don't know if this is a benefit or detriment, you tell me, they're very close together. I'm on high with these IMs, but if I went to low, I don't have to turn the volume up like 10 more numbers to match it. So it doesn't really feel like it's doing, like I don't, because it's a digital volume control, it really doesn't even need a gain selector. If you have enough numbers, if you go from 0 to 100, then low gain is simply the lower section of numbers, and medium gain is the medium section of numbers, and high gain would go up to 100. They're just adding that for like to give you a wider band, but it's so close together, it's almost not required. By the way, that is controllable through function. I'll take the head cam off for a second to give you a close-up look of Oscar, and then this. You could see if I hit the, oh, it's not really working, is it? Look, it's an imaginary switch, and that switches from RCA to balance, and that switches up and down. So, and that's basically it. That is the extent of what this beautiful lit screen can do for you, is just show you that. So once you've got those 2 things out of the way with input and the function button for the gain, all you really have is mute, which clicks the relay, power, which turns it off, which sets it there. It turns on rather quickly, SMSL THX. The only other things in the, oh, I did it again where I fucking shut it off. Because it's a single press to get into the menu and hold it to turn it off. So press. That's fine. Although I touched the top of this, so it probably has fingerprints. So input, gain, volume mode, which is, and this bothers me a little bit. When you enable volume mode, you change the volume, click, 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 click. You change the volume, no clicks. Let go, click. It goes to that volume, it relay clicks once. When you have volume mode off, it does, let me get out of this without hitting that button. So the argument is in the manual, if you want to preserve the life of the relays, you put it into the other mode where it clicks only once. And I get that, but at the same time, why the hell would the relay's life need to be preserved? Relays last like 1,000,000 clicks if you use decent relays. So it's like, it's a little off. I would probably just leave it. If you're one of those people who shuffles their volume constantly, maybe turn on the volume thing that saves the relays. But you really shouldn't have to. Aeolus, by the way. Aeolus unbalanced. We're gonna give that a whirl. All right, Beastie Boys is amazing. Chris Potter. Now I'm gonna leave this on low gain and just keep turning it up until I'm satisfied. We're at 80. 90, oh God, what? 99 is as high as it goes. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to go to 99, so we're going to hit the function button because it's easier than digging through the menu. And now we're on medium gain. And it's barely louder. It's definitely got a little bit more of an impact to it. But I don't think there's any like super set. If you have super sensitive IMs and you want to use this, and it's absolutely, I recommend that highly. You would just stay in the lower numbers. Keep on the low gain, stay in the low numbers. That's it. That's it. That's the only controls you have. There's nothing else to talk about with this unit. We're gonna get up and look at the back because it's super interesting, I guess would be the term. Oh my God, these are so pretty. I'm glad I finally got to pull those out because I don't really pull out. These are the only IM that you can't expect to go out and about with it. When I get that new X Duo balanced, I'll be interested in taking those out because nothing's powerful enough, and maybe that thing will be. Yeah, you're boring. It's literally just XLR-ins, and these are Viking Weave. These are the ones that were sent to be used with the Hollow May, but I'm fucking the thing. RCA and XLR, and then you have two outputs for pre-out, and you plug it in. The end, review over. Can I go home now? Can I go make dinner? Like, what else is it? Oh my God, the handprints. So I guess you're all wondering if you should spend your money on this. Zeos, is this it? You're waiting there with your credit card in hand, and you've dialed in 7 of the 12 numbers, and you're like, do I keep going, Zeos? If you have an A90, don't bother. If you have I'm trying to think of a price range. I hate giving price ranges because then there are things that are better. If you're looking to get into a good balanced amplifier, like a quality higher end balanced amplifier, and you're under $1,000 and you're like, I just want it. I just want Zeos. What's the one? It was A90 was the one. And I think this one will at least compete with it. But I don't think I like the screen, and the volume control has its benefits, absolutely. I've never had a problem with the A90 having an analog volume, but there are legit, on paper benefits to having go click, 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 instead of just a volume knob. What I like about the A90 is the analog nature of it. It's all switches, real switches, not pictures of switches that are up and down. It's off, headphone amp, preamp, and then low, medium, high gain, and then input it's all switches. You switch it real quick, and in silver it looks amazing. This is it has to sort of keep up with that new SMSL aesthetic they're using. And I mean, I could switch it from the balanced to the RCA input, which is RCA leads from the M400 into this. I am feeding everything with the Pi 2 AES. I'm feeding the Hollow May with the I2S HDMI cable, and I'm feeding this with a coaxial. And when I switch to the RCA inputs, there is a volume drop. Some of these amplifiers know that the voltage coming in from the RCA is lower, and they'll sort of skew the amplifier so that they have the same exact input volume. So when you switch between RCA and XLR, it doesn't change what the headphones get. Like the amplifier is consistent, either by boosting what the RCA signal is doing or by crushing down what the XLR is getting. In this, it does not do that. On the RCA input side, which literally is lower voltage, it's quieter and you have to turn the knob up. So if you're gonna switch between two different sources on this, just know that the XLR will be louder. If you could lower the XLR, which I can't do on the Hollow May, I could balance it, but you can't do it here. I wanna plug these in because the first of the GL2000s have started arriving in people's homes, and people like DMS have gotten sets. He's like, I hate them. They sound like a tin can. And I'm sitting here with them just completely enamored with the sound coming out of those. And at the same time, I'm like, well, why? But everyone's like, oh, this sounds like a Sundara. So I'm gonna give the Sundaras their little like tribute, because I've basically abandoned all of their headphones with the Gold Planars. We're on a medium gain through RCA, so it'll be lower to begin with. Please don't die. That's fine. I love these headphones too. I can love more than one headphone. See, I'm pushing it up near 80, near 70, because I'm on the RCA. I'm on the, they call it, yeah, I'm on the RCA input. Well, that took a way long delay. And then it undelayed. Classic control problems. I don't know what else to say about this amplifier other than it performs exactly the duties I expected it to. For the cost. It's like if this was a $300 amplifier, holy fuck. Holy fuck. But it's a $630 amplifier. So, of course, it's more of that. It's more of course it's that good. I expect it to be that good. The 888 THX Tech, of course. Of course. This is, of course it's this. Now, this is also sort of like, I'm sitting here going back and forth between the Hollow May and the M400 because I like the way the M400 sounds. The DAC in this stack, by the way, there is, I have the other tab open. Do I have the other tab open? Of course it changed the other tab. There is on APOS, if you search out, oh, there it is, M400 or SP400. 100. You get either the amp itself for $629 or the DAC, which is the M400, for $859, which is pricey. Or you can get the entire stack for $1490, which saves you like 70 bucks. And it's a hell of a stack. This on top of this for 1,500 bucks is, it could definitely be someone's endgame. I mean, it's not everyone's endgame because there's a fucking Hollow May sitting here. But I mean, this could be endgame, like that's it. I fucking done, Zeus. I'm just tired of this shit. But then it would never be the endgame for me because I'm finding more and more that there's amplifiers, and this is definitely leaning into the clean and neutral sound that we all either crave or just like, all right. I'm having, what's it called, issues, Wi-Fi issues, so. This is an Evangelion track, and I have an Asuka background. Thank God I did all my listening before I started this. Pause now. Pause. Here, in fact, I'll minimize everything so you get a clear view of that. Final thoughts, because I don't need to go in depth. Headphone amps are easy. You get a couple headphones you know and trust. You got these, got these, got those, got those, got IMs. You plug them into a DAC you know and trust. This one. Don't know about the Hollow May yet. I'm going to use this a little bit as a comparison. And you say, does it do what it says it does? Is it lying to you? And it's not lying to you. I definitely fucking believe all those numbers, all those ones and zeros, mostly zeros. There's just zeros. The percentage of zeros is way down. I believe all of it. And the only thing that kind of strikes me weird is I don't feel like it's 16 watts a channel. Because I'm on medium gain at 70 with Sundara. And Sundara is pretty easy to drive. Now, I haven't tried to blow anything up. You know what I got to do? Shit. 1 second. Might as well show you the Cowboy Bebop album artwork cut up and placed into my... I'll never get a chance to show this to anyone on video, so there you go. That's what I spent. $25 on the album and then $80 on frames for the cuts up of the album. And now we go to the basement. So let me go grab the headphone. Because you're all gonna be like, Zeos, why didn't you take the 880 600 ohms? And I'm like, well, shut up. So now, let's go put this on there. Okay. Please pause. Thank you. Well, I guess 6 watts a channel will do it. At first I was like, are these lacking in treble? And then I'm like, oh no, turn the volume up, turn the gain up. So we're on high gain, balanced input from the Hollow May at 75 out of 99. That's insane. If the 16 watts is to be believed, that's how much power these need, is high gain, balanced input, 16 watts at 75 out of 100. And I can go louder. It's just like, this is just what happens to be playing right now, which is LCD sound system I can change. Which is, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got a real bad delay going on. Oh, gravity kills. 80. All right, I'm just gonna give it the nod. This was my final thoughts. Just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy. Yes, it will work. The thing is, it's weird because when you underpower these, they get shrill and high. With this amount of power, it actually sounds like the highs are dulled out because there's so much actual low end being performed that it like skews the scales the other way. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Is it the best thing I've ever heard these on? No. I still think the Emotiva A100 is just somehow better. I don't know what it is, if it's just because it's a speaker amp, a raw speaker amp, and it handles these like they're a speaker differently than handling it like it's a headphone and it's expecting like weird impedance things. I don't know. Look, I'm not an audio engineer. I'm just a man with ears. I listen to things and I love them or I hate them. There's nothing on this table I hate. That's a good thing. Should I always have like something I fucking hate in case like I plug it in and it sounds good all of a sudden? Like, oh my God, it's a miracle. So SMSL SP400. It's worth its cost. That's all I gotta say. It's not like it doesn't blow away $10,000 amps because I don't listen to $10,000 amps. You shouldn't want me to listen to $10,000 amps. I shouldn't even be on the spectrum. Just whatever it is, it is. Link to that on 8 posts. Link to that. I'll have to link to the Hollow Man, all this stuff. I'll link to the A90 because the A90 is battery death. Okay, the A90 is still like the $500 choice. And I think these sound comparable to each other. This has more power. Certainly on paper it has more power. But I like the analog controls of the A90 better. And really, if you're talking about just raw, you can have both and you can compare them both. Am I going to die? If you're a THX fanboy, this is the best THX amplifier I've ever heard. As good as the benchmark, and I actually spent time with that benchmark. I haven't reviewed it, but I spent time with it. And I'm like, yeah, this is really fucking good. How much? $2,500. Ooh, pass. So if you're looking for $2,500 benchmark amp performance for $630, there you go. This video is over before the house collapses. Patreon and Subscribe Star will help repair my roof when it gets damaged. It'll also let you see these videos early. For $5 a month, you get to see all videos early. You get to participate in the yard sales. On the 1st to the 10th of every month, things go in the yard sale. I have other amplifiers that I probably am going to be dumping because if I have like this stack, I'll keep this stack to use as a reference, and then everything else below it goes away. Next year, when I have something better or more impressive than this stack goes in the yard sale. So there's always constantly changing out of things. So from the 1st to the 10th of every month, check back in this channel for a video. I'll say, hey, I'm selling all this stuff. Free shipping continental United States. 1/3 shipping you have to pay international. Bids all start at 0 unless it's something insanely heavy and I need to like minimize the loss on that. And then you just bid a random increment, and if you win, you win. That's it, it's over. Blind silent auctions. If you want to ask me questions on platform, please, $10 tier for a Patreon and Subscribe Star get you in the behind the scenes Telegram chat where I get it on my phone. I just check my messages on my phone. And if you have a question, not only can I answer it, but there's like 200 other really Well, they're obsessed audiophiles, really, that will answer, and there's usually a pretty good camaraderie in there. I've been told it's the best audio hangout on the internet. And I mean, I didn't have to say that, people have said it. So it actually, there's very few memes, but there's a lot of hi-fi porn. Oh my God. If you want to see pictures of people's tubes, they're big, thick tubes, that's where you go. There's also offshoots that have formed, hentai and hi-fi and tube amp discussion forums, and there's like little gangs of owners. I'm sure there's a Hollow May Club that's going to be coming up, because there's like 5 people in there now with one of these crazy decks. But yeah, no, check out the $10 Telegram tiers in both the support things. And don't forget to check out Hi-Fi Guides and the Hi-Fi Guides forums. You guys are blowing that place up. It's like Wall Street bets, but for headphones and speakers. And I'm hoping to get about other audio things involved. We might be doing some sponsorship things there, maybe some giveaways. Put a ad banner up and give some money to charity. We'll see what we're doing. Wallpapers, as always, in the description of this video. And I get to use these 16:9 ones here, so I kind of have been going and collecting a bunch of them. So up here is like, I don't want to not, I mean, the talking might get echoey, but it's like, I'm in my pajama pants without like long underwear underneath it, because downstairs is cold. So yeah, thank you to APOS. Links to this, links to everything. I'll talk to you tomorrow. There'll be all of the video, and we'll move on from there.